In this video, we're going to look at the Freeze Miracle Slush Making Cup. Welcome to Thirsty Thursday. I'm Mark. This is the Average Meat Channel. And in today's video, we're going to see how you can make a slush. This is the Freeze Miracle Slush Making Cup. I will link it down below. I got this off Amazon. And this is the fun and easy way to make slush. The cup is right here. I'll show it to you in a minute. But first, we're going to start by showing you how I make slushes right now. If I need to make a slush, I usually will put it in a plastic bottle like this. I fill it about 3/4 of the way. I always want to make sure there's a little room in here. If I end up freezing the beverage 100%, I will put it in the microwave for anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds. And that thaws out maybe 2/3 of the way, not quite that much, halfway. Okay, then I take that and I shake the daylights out of it. And it mixes the frozen with the not frozen. I'm going to knock some off of that bottom. And when I pour it into the cup, voila, look at that. We have slush. Pretty nice. Pretty straightforward. It's easy. It doesn't take a machine, but what it does take is pre-planning. So if you want to get a slush right now and you didn't think to put this in the freezer earlier, well, we might have a problem. So that's where something like the Freeze Miracle Cup comes into play. Let me show you what I got. So when I ordered this, you have a removable lid, and the cup has a ring. The cup itself, there's another ring on the top. I don't know if I take it off, it's frozen on there right now. This has been in the freezer. And the insert. And the insert is soft, flexible plastic, kind of like you would have, the freezer units that you would put into a cooler if you were to, go on a trip or go to a concert or ball game, something like that. So this ring goes underneath. Then it fits inside. This ring comes up from under it. And it doesn't quite snap into place, but it is seated there. And then what happens when you bring that on, it brings it all together. So let's see how it creates a slush. What we're going to do is take our juice, and you can't fill this all the way to the brim because you do have to do a little massaging of it. But we can come almost all the way, about the same amount that I used for this slush. You have to put the lid on. If you don't put the lid on, it's going to go everywhere. So what's happening now, as I'm doing all this, that beverage is in there freezing inside those channels. And so what you're supposed to do now is massage it. And you'll feel it. You can probably hear that crackling. When I look inside, every time I squeeze it, it's breaking some of the juice free from the edges. And it's getting mixed up in there. And then I'm guessing that new juice is moving to take the place of the old juice. And yeah, I can actually see it forming slush. And I guess the longer you leave it in, the more slushy it's going to become. So let's take this off and see what we have. So there we go. We have slush, except here's the problem. Most of the slush is stuck. Oh boy. I knew that that was going to be a little messy. So I brought some paper toweling. But you see how this has folds in it? See, it almost looks like a little star in there. And most of that is getting stuck inside all of those little creases in there. So I can dig it out and I can get most of it. But it's going to take time and it's going to take some work for sure. So I better cover this bottle up or bottle's empty. I was going to say I'll surely knock it over if I don't. So this is going to take a little bit of work. Now this doesn't look like a full slush, but I think if I would have left it in there a little longer it would have. But you can see this is going to take some time to work all the slush out of these crevices. But it works. I get slush. Oh, really cold too. You can see the slush here. So yes, the Freeze Miracle Slush Cup does work. Let's talk about the pros and cons. You saw how easy it was for me to make slush this way. My own method, I would just fill it up, like I said, leave a little room for the shaking. If you overfreeze it, no harm. You just put it in the microwave for 10 seconds at a time. Sometimes I would have to take the spoon and push it in there and break it free a little bit. But you saw how easy that was. And I actually got a smoother slush than here. This is actually bigger chunks that was breaking off the inside of the cup. So this is a real smooth slush. Also, when I'm done here, I have a lot to clean up. Now, kids are probably going to love it. They're going to like this idea of squeezing this and having a little fun with that. But when you're done, you got a lot of cleaning up to do. Now, the advantage, of course, is you do not have to plan that much ahead. Or do you? Because you still have to plan far enough ahead to put this in the freezer. And I might as well just put my bottle of juice in the freezer. Not only that, I can put 3, 4, 5 bottles of juice in the freezer. I only have one of these unless I want to buy 5 of them. And it made about the same amount of slush. So what do I grade this? Well, it works. I can't complain about that. But there's so much cleanup and it's so tough to get all, I'm still working at it and pulling out pieces of slush that's caught in all of those little grooves and crevices inside there. I once had a slush cup that was a plastic on the outside, plastic cup itself, hard plastic, and that's soft silicone like this. And then it had a metal lining, and I guess the coolant was stuck between theirs. I like that a lot better because you just take your spoon and scrape the metal sides, and you get your slush. So I would probably grade this a C+. It's well made. It works. Kids are probably going to love this, playing around. They're probably going to be disappointed and frustrated trying to get all the slush out of there. And it's a lot to clean up. When I'm done with this, I rinse out a bottle and I can use it again and again and again. And you don't have to pay extra for this. The juice comes in this at the store. So that is our Freeze Miracle Slush Cup. Does it work? Yes. Is it convenient? Not so much. I'll link it down below. You might like the idea. I don't think it costs much more than $10. So, if you don't like it, you haven't spent a fortune. As always, I encourage you to like and share the videos. Leave your comments down below. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And don't forget to ring that bell icon. That way you'll know when I post new videos. Thanks for joining me. I'm Mark, and this is the Average Meat Channel.